portion of this video is sponsored by Tello Mobile. 2022 has been an awesome year for new products, but most of the stuff that came out wasn't that surprising. We got a new iPhone, surprise, it was good. We got a new Pixel, surprise, it had a great camera. But I bought a few products this year that I didn't expect to love as much as I do. And after using these, I have a hard time going back to not having them. So here are some surprising tech. I don't consider myself to be like a coffee snob, but I do have 3 kids and sleep issues. So coffee in the morning is pretty important to me. I'd actually seen iJustine do a video on the spin coffee machine and wanted to give it a shot. Absolutely love it. I was looking at the Terra Cafe TK01, but it didn't make actual drip coffee. They have a TK02 coming out, which maybe I'll swap for next year. But the spin coffee machine has been awesome. First of all, I bought it because it's Wi-Fi connected. So when I'm upstairs, I can have a mug under there in the morning. I'll come down, coffee will be ready for me. It makes a ton of different drinks too. It'll do milk drinks if you want, espresso. I prefer drip coffee, different sizes in there as well. You can also dial in the app how much caffeine you want, how much water you want to add. I like that level of granularity in there as well. The Wi-Fi connection has been awesome, but there are times when it loses the Wi-Fi connection, which makes the app useless. You've got some shortcuts built into the machine itself that lets it be programmed. You can make coffee from too. It also has a market in there where you can order coffee and it'll custom make the drinks for that coffee. It's a fancier machine, but one that I've really loved. So this is AeroGarden. Actually ended up buying 2 of these. I love the idea of growing fruit and growing vegetables and trying to grow things and showing my kids the importance of agriculture and let them experience growing their own stuff. Problem is, I've killed everything I've tried to grow outside, which has been a problem. So I took the advice of my friend Brendan Miniman, who runs a channel called Rooted at Home about growing stuff indoors hydroponically. That's where I came to AeroGarden. I actually loved it so much, I've ended up buying 2 of them. They come in different sizes. Essentially, it's a machine that you buy these little pods that you can pick what you want to grow. So we grew a ton of like lettuce, for example. We've got tomatoes and bell peppers growing. You literally just plunk them in. You fill the machine up with water and a little bit of growing stuff. And the machine does all the rest. It's got LED lights. It'll cycle them on or off. And these are almost unkillable way to grow stuff at home. Now, there are definitely less expensive ways to do hydroponic growing. I did not trust myself. And this has actually been one of my go-to gifts this holiday season. I think it's just kind of cool to grow things at home. So this is the biggest purchase that I had this year, LG G2. I bought the big 80 odd inch set. I was coming from about a 7-year-old Sony and I wanted to have sort of modern TV experiences. I wanted the deep blacks of OLED. I wanted the bright, vibrant picture. I really just wanted a modern set, and I waited patiently for so many years until I could find one that I really liked. So the G2 has been an awesome set. Comes in different sizes. There are other versions as well. LG C2 is a great set, but for gaming, watching movies, TV, the LG 2 has just been absolutely incredible. So this one was a sponsor actually earlier in the year. It's the Ledger Nano X. It is a crypto hard wallet. I did a couple sponsors for crypto hard wallets this year, and especially seeing what's going on with BlockFi and with FTX and other sort of crypto exchanges. Super important to put your crypto into a hard wallet. The Ledger Nano X is the one that I've been using, but generally they're all pretty good. Anytime you take your crypto off of an exchange and you take control of it, is a good product. Ledger makes a few other versions as well. They actually have one coming out with Tony Fadell. That's e-ink and looks unnecessarily fancy. You don't have to buy this one, but definitely look into a crypto hard wallet. You can even make one yourself if you're so inclined, but get your crypto off the exchanges, even if that exchange is something like Coinbase. All right, so I'm gonna stop talking about the surprising products this year. I wanna talk about this video's sponsor, Tello Mobile. So one thing that I think we can all agree generally sucks is paying big bills. And if you look at your bill from your cell phone carrier, chances are it is bigger than you'd like it to be and bigger than it probably needs to be. And there are a lot of options out there for lowering your bill, but Tello Mobile is taking a pretty new approach. For unlimited everything, they have a plan for $30 per month. If you're not using all that data, you can go cheaper. 5 gigabytes for $19 a month, 2 gigabytes for $14 a month. That is insane when it comes to prices. And those plans include unlimited talk and text. And if you don't need unlimited or 5 or 2, maybe you're somewhere in between with more or less, you can build your own plan too. That'll work pretty well for you. What you're not sacrificing for the price though is reliability and customer service. You got in-house 24/7 customer support. You can order a physical SIM and just pop it in, you're good to go. They also offer eSIMs, which is nice if you're coming from an iPhone or an Android device that is eSIM only, or you want to switch to eSIM. They made that whole process really simple. If you want to learn more, check out Telomobile for yourself. Put a link to it down below. Most of my gaming has always been done on console, Xbox, or PlayStation. I have not done as much gaming as I wanted to in the PC world, which put me behind because Steam has such an incredible library of games to play on. So the Steam Deck has been my reintroduction into, I guess, sort of PC-esque gaming. This is probably my favorite product of the year, and I use it for the games that I love. I went back and played Spider-Man again on it, played Miles Morales on it. It's where I was playing God of War. It has been absolutely incredible. I wish it was easier to get things like xCloud on it as well, but for the price and the features, I absolutely adore Steam Deck. It is not for everybody. If you're more of a casual gamer and want to take your Steam games with you, it's been awesome. I love it. Battery life is abysmal though, so I'll probably pick up a battery pack to go along with it. So this is physically the largest thing that I bought this year. My Rivian R1T and my wife's R1S. Absolutely have loved these cars and trucks. We did videos on them all, but it has exceeded my expectations when it comes to build quality, to range, to utility. I've absolutely loved it. The technology in it's been really good. I do wish it had its own charging network. I think that's where Tesla has just an obscene advantage. But I haven't done that many road trips. I did one. I was able to find chargers that worked on the road. But I've absolutely loved my Rivian R1T. My wife adores her R1S. It's been awesome, and this is amongst my favorite tech of the year. So this is one I seem to talk about all the time, but I did get a new one. This is I think it's called the Gen 3 Horizon. It's my Oura Ring, and I've made a lot of videos on this, but I keep wearing it over and over again. You will see it in pretty much every video. Sleep tracking for me is immensely important. And I just wear it as a wedding ring, so I have a ring on anyway, so it makes things a lot easier, and I just charge it when I'm in the shower, for 15 or so minutes every night, and it works. Sleep tracking's been awesome. Blood oxygen has been awesome. It'll tell you how your temperature changed overnight too, if it raises or lowers. It's been a really good indicator for me that I'm getting sick, and with a lot of respiratory illnesses in the world, and my kids bringing home seemingly a new sickness every 8 days, it's been nice to have a heads up that maybe I might be dealing with something. But to get the granular sleep tracking data has been awesome. I don't wear my Apple Watch when I sleep. It's too big and hits my pillow. So if you are a light sleeper, have sleep issues, you want to know more about your health, even some of your heart rate stuff, I absolutely adore Oura Ring, and definitely deserves a spot on this list. I think I'm going to call this the most surprising product on this list. This was another sponsor. Casetify cases, particularly my wife using Casetify cases. I love my wife. If you're watching this, you know I love you, but she is not good with her phones. She gives them to my kids sometimes. They fling out of her purse, and I'm very often having to get her phones repaired or put new screen protectors on her phones. They're just always breaking. She used to use the Apple silicone cases, and always in the corner, they would start to the silicone would absolutely peel off, and there was a little bit of plastic there. They never worked, never gave good protection. So we did a bunch of videos with Casetify, so I just gave her one of the cases after we threw it down the stairs 9 times and the phone didn't break. And her phone looks pristine, which is not something I've ever been able to say about any of the phones my wife has had. So it's saving me money from having to repair phones, and I've been really impressed with the durability. There are a lot of cases that offer durability, but for her, it's been absolutely awesome. Govee was a company that I had not heard of. But we did a sponsor for them during the year, and we're actually using their lights in almost every video we have them set up in the sets. I was impressed with how easy they were to use, easy they were to set up, and how many different options they had. You don't have to pick Govee. There's a bunch of other options that do things similar, but they've worked really well for us if you want some sort of custom light options you don't need a hub for. So we had a chance to review the Hummer truck. We had it for about a week. And I said in the video, I was not expecting to enjoy this thing at all. It is big, it is loud, it is ostentatious, but when I got in the driver's seat, it also drives incredibly well. It had no business being that much fun to drive. I loved driving this thing. Now it's way too big, at least for me, to drive around every day. It's like 6 inches wider than an Escalade. It is just a behemoth. But I love that it exists. I love that EVs can be big and I guess kind of loud too. It was just a lot of fun to drive, and it's definitely the most surprising, I think, bit of tech that I had a chance to take a look at this year. So we have at the studio, I should say had, internet from Cox. And if you don't know, internet providers charge like 2 or 3 times for business internet they do for home internet. We're paying at least for 100 down and 20 up for $200 a month. And as you can expect, we never got those speeds. It was down all the time. It was a really bad experience, and for place here that needs a reliable internet for streaming, for uploading videos, and generally just doing our jobs, it was not a reliable experience. So I wanted to try some of these mobile carrier home internets. I know Verizon had an option and T-Mobile had an option as well. And we actually have a T-Mobile 5G tower that got turned on. Like, I can see it out the window right there. I decided to give T-Mobile's home internet a try. There is no data cap on it at all, and allegedly no throttling for $50 a month. So we tried it. We started getting these speeds, and getting these speeds really regularly. They recommend you put it by a window. We didn't do that. We actually put it in a room with no windows and saw almost exactly the same speeds as we did when we had it by a window. We hooked it up to the routers that we have here. We have some Unify routers. It has been absolutely awesome. I do have to reset it, maybe once a week, so that might be a problem for you if you need to be all the times be up and working. I got a fan that goes on the bottom of it. Evidently there are 2 different versions of this. One I think made by Nokia, one another company, and the other company is a better version. We have the crappy version of it. But it's been really good. And for $50 a month, it is incredibly hard to beat. We did a lot of car videos this year. We did our Lucid video. We actually hired a FPV drone operator, and the footage came out incredible. We wanted to try it ourselves. So we bought the DJI Avata, I don't know. We bought this thing. And it's been awesome. Now, in all fairness, I did not get to pilot it. JD, who I'm staring at over there, is the one who got to play with it mostly. And it gave us really good footage. It gave us close to what we got from a professional first-person drone pilot. Obviously, the stuff that we couldn't do with or didn't have the expertise to do. But it worked really well. And if you want sort of step up your drone game, you want to do some FPV stuff yourself, it is a really good, I guess you can call it an entry into that. It's just been a lot of fun to mess around with as well. Checked out a lot of products this year, and a lot of them were really good. Some of them were not so good. But these at least were my most surprising ones this year. If you had something that you checked out that was super surprising that people don't know about, let us know in the comments down below. Whenever you watch this video, I wish you a year of health and happiness, and hope that everybody has nothing but success that they deserve.